Okay, let's look at the first trigonometry question. It's a Pythagorean trig. They say the sine of 64 degrees is equal to p. And there's other ways to do it. You can just go sine squared plus cos squared equal. Anyways, there's other ways to do it. But I like to draw a right angle triangle here. And I know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. And if it's p over 1. And then you can get this side down here just by going the hypotenuse squared, 1 squared, which is 1, minus p squared, and take the square root. And there you go. There's the adjacent side right there. So when they say, what's the tan of 64 degrees, you just go opposite over adjacent, p over root 1 minus p squared. Okay, the next question says, what's the cosine of 334 times the sine of 244? Well, you get a couple of marks just for doing this. You go the cosine of 334 is 26 degrees away from the horizontal 360, so it's the cosine of 26. But the sine of 44 degrees, that's 64 degrees past the horizontal of 180. It's the sine of 64, but it's negative there. But isn't the cosine of 26 really the sine of 64? And since we know these are both p times p is p squared, and there's one negative here, it must be minus p squared. Now the next question's a little bit trickier. You've got this 8 sine 16 cos 16 cos 32. Now they didn't write it in the memo, but what you have to do is instead of making it 8, make it 4 times 2. And then it's 2 times the sine of an angle times the cosine of an angle. Well, that equals the 2 times the sine of theta times the cosine of theta equals the sine of 2 times theta, 2 times 16, which is the sine of 32. So this here, all of this here just becomes the sine of 32. So it's 4 times the sine of 32. But hey, you've got the cos of 32 right here. So you've got the sine of 32 and the cos of 32. You've got to break up 4 so that it's 2 times 2. And then we've got the same thing again. 2 times the sine of an angle times the cosine of an angle is equal to the sine of twice the angle, the sine of 2 times 32, the sine of 64. So this whole part becomes the sine of 64, but you're still left with a 2 in front of here. But the sine of 64 is just p, so the whole thing is just 2p. And let's see, the last question is a little bit longer, so I think we'll make a separate video.